Hello everyone, it is Alex with the Seattle Guitar Store, and it's time for another installment of the Year of the Pedal, and this time we're taking a look at Earthuaker Devices' Dispatch Master, which is a sort of combined delay reverb pedal all in one. Now this pedal for an Earthuaker device is relatively straightforward, and you can think of it as basically a delay pedal with some optional reverb that you can mix in. So let's just quickly review what the controls are. Starting in the upper right, we have the repeats. So for anyone who's ever used a delay, which is probably about 99% of you, that's going to control the number of echoes that you get back from the delay. In the lower right, we've got the delay time. So as I turn it to the right, there's going to be a longer pause between the original signal and any repeats. And then down in the lower left, we have the mix, and that's going to control how loud the echoes are in the final signal. If I crank it all the way to the right, the echoes will be as loud as the original signal. If I turn it all the way down to the left, I'm not going to hear any, or I'll hear very little. Now this knob up here in the upper left is kind of the interesting part of this pedal, which is that the Dispatch Master allows you to mix in some reverb into the echoes if you want that sound. And it's not a on or off sort of thing. You can do it from none, which is turned all the way to the left, to as much as you want all the way to the right and anywhere in between. So let's play with the controls here and hear how it sounds just in pure delay mode with no reverb on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the reverb all the way down. Then I'm going to set the repeats, you know, about right there. I'll set the mix about right there. And let's see where my delay time is here. All right, now if we take this reverb knob and we turn it up a little bit, let's put it maybe about halfway up and listen to the difference. I'll play the same thing. All right, you can hear how that time there's a lot more space to the sound. It sounds like the guitar is actually in a bigger room, and that's the effect that reverb has, or the way we perceive it. So that's really nice that you can just kind of dial in as much as you want there. Now, one fun little trick I found with this is when you turn everything up, you can get some really cool atmospheric sounds. So let's play with this a little bit. Let's take the reverb and we're going to max it. We're also going to crank the mix up all the way. We're going to make our repeated signal as loud as our dry signal. I'm also going to turn the repeats up all the way, and then the delay time for what I'm about to do isn't really going to make a whole lot of a difference. So listen to this, just a simple volume swell. Listen to how thick you can make this. I'll turn that down a little bit. With the repeats up all the way, you can hear that it's just going to continue to regenerate and regenerate and regenerate, and eventually it will fall off. You can hear it starting to decay. Like that. Right, if I turn the repeats down, eventually it'll die off. All right, so when I first showed the Dispatch Master, I was going right through the front end of a clean amplifier. Let's see what it's like working with a dirty tone. Now in this case, I've got a different setup. I've got a Les Paul Classic, and I'm going through an EVH 5150-3. Now this amp, at least the model I have, doesn't have any built-in reverb, and so a pedal like the Dispatch Master would be nice to kind of add some body to the sound that I've got. So at the moment, I've got it going through the front end of the amp, which means my guitar is going into the Dispatch Master, and then the Dispatch Master is plugged into the front of the 5150. Right now I have it turned off, and so it's got this real sort of dry sound to it. All right. Now, I've got it set up here where I've got a medium amount of reverb. I'd like the mix down a little bit. I'm going to keep the repeats down a little bit, and I've got the delay time set about where I want it. So let me turn this on, and I'll put it on through the front end of the amp, and then you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, now I've got the Dispatch Master running through the effects loop. So that means that my Les Paul is going straight into the 5150. The effects send is going to the in of the Dispatch Master, and then the output of the Dispatch Master is going to the effects return. So I've essentially moved the Dispatch Master after the preamp section, and it gives it this kind of sound. Now, to my ear, the Dispatch Master, and really this is kind of my opinion of all reverb and delay pedals, sounds better to me after the distortion or the preamp, the high gain stage. Now, if you're going into an amplifier and you're using, say, a distortion pedal, then you may want to play with putting the distortion pedal either before or after. It's kind of a matter of taste. For me, I like the repeats and the echoes and all of that to be past the distortion stage. So there you have it in a nutshell, the Dispatch Master, a really great, simple, straightforward delay reverb pedal. Very flexible, sounds great on any pedal board. Come check it out. Remember, you can only get this custom artwork at the Seattle Guitar Store, either in store in the lovely city of Seattle, Washington, or online at seattleguitarstore.com. And remember, when you come to visit us online, please remember to scroll down and sign up for the free newsletter. You're going to get a lot of great tricks and tips in your inbox. We're also going to give you special notice of clinics that we're going to be doing, as well as special deals for newsletter members. You'll also be entered into a chance to win this pedal or any of the other pedals that we've reviewed in the Year of the Pedal.